Good day, everyone. It's Makeda Valletta, also known as the Renaissance Amazon, and I'm here with my little morning talk. In case you're unfamiliar with me, I am a trainer, I'm a nutritionist, hopefully that's okay. Okay. I'm a dancer, I'm a sacred sexual educator, a doula, everything that has to do with the body, and a serious student of history and anthropology and pre-colonial art and cosmology. And I did a video the other day about how women can increase their orgasmic potential. And I'm live on my Instagram. I will save this and repost it to my YouTube. So make sure you follow me in both places, okay? But I just wanted to add some things to that video. If you didn't see that video, go ahead and check it out. There was a few things I wanted to add to this, okay? Because I was talking about women and their orgasmic issues and how women get to 40 and never had an orgasm. I think men are a lot more proactive about that, about making sure that their sexual needs are met. A lot of times, not all women, but there are a lot of women who will put their needs in the back burner for other priorities. And some of the things that I have to say about women increasing their orgasmic potential might be things that people deem to be politically incorrect, or some people just can't deal with because they can't handle the truth. But I know when it comes to dating, for example, I hear a lot of people talking about dating one person. And I never thought that it was smart to put all your eggs in one basket, okay? Life showed me that that's never smart. I don't care what it is, even when it comes to jobs. You need to have more than one source of income, okay? I don't care how good your job is. If you depend on that one job, you can lose that job at any moment. You see people getting laid off all the time, right? And so even, like when it comes to getting into a relationship, right? Like I'm never going to let go of my male friends for any dude. Like I've had my male friends for years. Some of them have been friends with me for almost 20 years, 15 years. Some of them have seen me through a few relationships. And they're still here, and the dude that is not. So why would I let go of my friends for some dude that may or may not be here next year? Okay. And talking about having good sex, right? You have women who will, let go of not just their male friends, because it doesn't mean that you're always having sex. Male friends are not always a source of sex, but they could be a source of other things, other kinds of help and assistance or whatever. And so, but even when people are a source of sex, right? You let all that go, and then now you have a breakup, and now, see, that's why a lot of people be backtracking to their ex. When I break up with a dude, I've never gotten back with an ex. I have never backtracked. When you're my ex, you're my ex. If you're my ex, if we break up today, I'm not backtracking tomorrow and being like, oh, just one more time. Never happened with me, okay? Never backtrack to an ex. You're an ex for a reason, and I just cut that off, okay? Like the song by, I think her name is Anacia and Lotto, Back Outside. That's always been me, okay? Anytime I've had a breakup, dancing, I'm in the gym, I'm doing everything to make myself even better, even sexier, a better version of myself, okay? I'm not going to sit around just crying over you. Like some people try to say, oh, if you have a breakup, going out and messing with someone else doesn't make you feel better. It made me feel better, okay? Because, first of all, sex is healing, okay? Good sex is healing. We have to get this dirty, shameful idea out of our mind to understand that good sex is healing. Sexual energy is healing energy. People always, especially black people, always want to focus on the negative. Oh, you pick up all this negative energy from people and bad energy, and you shouldn't have sex with too many people because you pick up all their negative energy. But what if you have sex with a bunch of people with good energy and people with good intentions and smart people? Maybe you could pick up their intelligence, their talent, their good energy. Okay, so it all depends on who you're messing with. Me, myself, I've never believed in messing with a dude that was disrespectful or that I don't like. Okay, I don't care how good the sex is. And there are times that could be difficult because you might have good sex with somebody who's an asshole. But I don't believe in that, okay? Because that's how a lot of women end up finding themselves in bad situations, all right? So you have to have, you have to keep yourself right. Always work on your body, always be working out, because that has a lot to do with your orgasmic potential, just your whole connection to yourself. I'm a big believer in dancing and moving the hips and everything, but also keeping your options open. I even think about the future. People think about retirement, right? And having money for when they retire. I think about sex for when I get older. Like, I don't ever want to be in a situation where, I have no sex. Like, there's no sexual options, and all I'm doing is messing with toys, because toys don't replace people, right? So I don't, until the day I die, and hopefully I live well into my 90s or past, I want to still be sexually active, because it's one of the great joys of life, okay? And it does help our hormones and our health and stuff, right? So as women, thinking about that and prioritizing that, you have men who travel to foreign lands, to Colombia, to Brazil, to DR, just to play with chicks, okay? Just for sexual tourism and to play with chicks. I don't think that women do that enough, at least not black women. I know a lot of white women be going to Jamaica and Africa and stuff like that. But those are important things, that's real. Like, people are so busy shaming sex and shaming people, but it's like, some people, it's not that easy for them to get it, even when they're younger, okay? That's a real thing. If you don't have that problem, you might not be thinking about that. You might not have empathy for people who nobody ever comes on to them. Nobody ever tells them they're attractive, I don't want to imagine that, okay? I don't want to imagine that. But I have empathy for people who are in that situation. And being sexually frustrated and going too long without having your needs met, that can make anybody just in a bad mood and depressed and all those other things, right? Also, when it comes to having your needs met, and I talk about putting the eggs in one basket in dating, to me, dating is not a commitment. If I'm dating, we're not together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not married to you. We're not in a committed relationship. So I don't understand the whole thing of exclusive dating. Like, what does that mean? To me, either we're in a committed relationship or we're not. Dating to me does not mean relationship. Dating means we're hanging out, whatever, we're getting to know each other. There's no way I'm just dating one person at a time. That makes no sense. Too many dudes, oh, thank you for the compliment. I love colors. Too many dudes waste women's time. Okay, and as a woman, ladies, our concept of time is different than men. Men they have all the time in the world to waste, okay? And so I wouldn't allow a man to waste my time by giving him everything, and you have full access to me, and we don't have that, and you may not even be meeting my needs, right? Because, for example, you can have a good sexual connection with one person, but that one person might not be around that much, okay? So now you're blocking your orgasmic potential because you're waiting around for somebody who might be around once every 2 months. Or once in a blue moon. So in the meantime, you're twiddling your thumbs like, what do I do? No. Sometimes somebody is really good at, maybe there's 5 things that you really like. And this person's really good at these 2 things, but not these 3 things. And then this other dude over here is good at these 3 things, but not these 2 things. Okay? So am I going to put all my eggs in one basket with this one dude who's not meeting all my needs? This one dude who's not really around? No, I'm not doing that, okay? I've always felt like it's important for people to have their needs met. I know for myself, it's important that I have my needs met. Like, I don't care what other people think, right? And so when it comes to, you're increasing your orgasmic potential and having more intense orgasms and better sex has a lot to do with yourself and the work you do on yourself, but also who you're connecting with. How much that partner, how compatible you are, how much they tune into your body. And one thing that I've noticed in life is that a lot of times, at least in my life, the people that I have the people that I have, that I fall in love with, thus far, the people that I've fallen in love with and been in a relationship with were never the people that I had the strongest sexual connection with. And there have been people who I've had really strong sexual connections with, and it was never lovey-dovey, you know what I'm saying? But the sex was out of this mind, out of this world. For me, I'm not the kind of person that just falls in love because the sex is good. That's not it. And a lot of women, but there's this myth that women can't have sex without getting their feelings involved. That's a lie. But when people say that sex is better with somebody you love, that's true and it's not true. It depends, because yes, feelings being involved, can make sex better, but it's also skill. I could love you all day, but if you don't have the skill, then that cancels out the love in terms of, it being so amazing. Okay, so love doesn't take mediocre sex and make it amazing. It's also skill. So if somebody is lucky enough to find, you guys like this blue? I like colors. I just threw this on. So if what was I gonna say? If you just happen to be lucky enough to fall in love with someone who is like the most amazing sexual partner and tunes into your body and pays attention and stays consistent, because sometimes people do that in the beginning, but then they lose that. They don't stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I've made the decision that I'm putting myself first, and if I'm with somebody and they're meeting my sexual needs and now they're not, I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure my needs are met. Okay? I'm not spending years of my life with bad sex. I'm not spending years of my life having no orgasms. Okay? This guy could be good. There are men who are great men, but can I elaborate on that point? On what point? What point did we elaborate on? There are men who are great men, and a woman might feel, the sex may not be the best, and a woman feels guilty because she's like, well, he has everything else, he would make a good partner in every other way. So they'll put that to the side. Let me see. Love and great sex is the goal. That ship has sailed. Yeah, so, and then when people make these, and also, okay, so I'm going to say another thing. I'm also a bisexual woman. And people think that, oh, men love that, okay? But that's actually a myth, okay? Most men don't like it. And I was looking at a video yesterday from Victoria Monet where she was talking about being bisexual in an interview with Gayle King, and Gayle King was like, and first of all, Gayle King was asking her if she felt like she was understood a lot, and if people ask her, oh, so if you were the man, do you still like women? And bisexual women and bisexual people a lot of times are made to pick a side, okay? Like if you're a bisexual man, in the black community, they just call you gay. I feel like in the black community, nobody accepts bisexual men. They're just like, oh, they're gay, even though there's a such thing. Now with bisexual women, it's like a lot of women who want a man in their life, okay? There's a lot of bisexual women who want a man in their life. They want to support a man by their side. And they give up that side of themselves. They deny their attraction to women because they want a man. They want to be accepted by a man. And most men aren't cool with that. Or you have men who feel like, oh, I'm okay with it, but, it has to be a threesome. And that is restrictive because as a woman, you might meet a woman that you have a sexual connection with, that you have a sexual attraction with. She may not be attracted to your dude. She may not want to have a threesome with your dude. And your dude might not even have the temperament for that, because every man doesn't have the temperament to be with two women. A lot of times, depending on the man, he can mess up the whole vibe. Some men can make it better. It just depends. But I'm just saying it's complicated. And that other woman, she might have her own man, and she just might not be attracted to you and want to do that. So as a bisexual woman, when you're in a situation with a man where he's like, yeah, I'm okay with it, but I'll have to be there. We always have to do it together. That restricts your orgasmic potential. Okay? So when I was 18, I promised myself I would never deal with a man that can't handle my sexuality and my attraction to women. And there are many dudes that, were in my life that really liked me, but they weren't cool with it. And they're like, oh, only if I'm there. And I'm like, I'm not agreeing to that. Because to be honest, I'm an honest person. A lot of people be lying out here. But if I'm someplace and a really attractive woman comes on to me and starts touching up on me, I'm not going to stop her because you're not here. I'm not going to be like, oh, stop, wait, he's not here. No. And again, she may not want you. It's hard enough being a bisexual woman, at least in my life, to even attract women and deal with women because I don't deal with lesbians and bisexual women. A lot of times they're very shy, and some of them aren't comfortable with themselves, and so like, or they got it. It's just a lot of complications. I did a video on this years ago, so I'm not going to make my shit worse by having a dude around me who's blocking. I've always felt like if I'm in a relationship with a man, you've got to help me, okay? Help me bring women over here, because it's not something that happens often. It's never been often enough in my adult life. But I've known men that got offended by that. My ex was like, oh, he thought I was just with him he thought I was just with him for him to bring me women. And I'm like, no, dude, he was really insecure. I was in love with him, and that wasn't the reason. But I'm like, I would never get with a man for that reason. And it wasn't even like he was doing it. He wasn't even doing it. We were together for almost 2 years, and like, you know, that never, he never brought me any women over here. But I'm like, can you please? Like, if you do that for my birthday, or I'll be happy, you know? So, so for me, that's why I've set my life up. Like, I'm not going to block my sexuality, my wants and desires for any dude, okay? And so, as a woman, you know, part of that, you know, is being clear with yourself about what it is that turns you on, what it is that you want, what it is that you need, and sticking to that. And, you know, I say don't compromise on it, but a lot of women do, because they want the security of a partner. And then you have people who be out here either just totally suppressed, which again is going to limit your orgasmic potential, or they are sneaking around and lying, which I've never wanted to live that life. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm stupid for being honest, and maybe I should lie like everybody else, but that's not in me. I'm just a straight up person. I can deal with the truth. A lot of people say they can deal with the truth, and they can't deal with the truth, okay? But for the ladies who are attracted to women, I'm just going to say, you know, to me, it's a sad life to let that go for a man. But you're not a lesbian, so you want a man in your life. But I just feel like do the work to find the men that can handle it. Now, that's easier said than done, I must say so myself, because I thought it would be easier than it was. And sometimes I debate, like, you know, is it better to be single and make sure my needs are met, or be in a committed relationship and have support and my needs aren't being met? Like, which one? Okay? It's a case of the grass is greener. They both have their pros and cons. I just know for me, I just wasn't built to like live a lie and suppress myself in that way. But these are things that women, you know, you should really consider and think about, and don't worry about what men think, okay? Don't live your life based on, oh, this man's going to think I'm a hoe, this man's going to think that. Don't live your life based on that, okay? You have to be comfortable in yourself, comfortable in your own skin, because life goes by fast, and the next thing, your shit may not work no more, and you wish you did more, okay? Maybe you lose your attractiveness because you've gotten older, and you can't get, you know, you can't even get it anymore, and you wish you did more. To me, sex is a beautiful thing. Good sex is a beautiful thing. It's a part of a healthy life. Hold on. It's not dirty. You know, all those things. So, you know, men a lot of times want to control women's bodies. Like, men used to always shame strippers, but like, a lot of dudes like looking at them girls at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's like dudes fantasize about the so-called whore, or the very sexually free woman, but then shame them at the same time. Like, dudes don't want a prudish chick, but then you get a chick that's comfortable with herself, and it's an issue. So as a woman, I just feel like it's really important to be grounded and comfortable with who you are. Know what it is, what you want, what you need. Okay? You should be able to give yourself an orgasm, okay? Because when women get in their 40s and 50s and have kids and never had an orgasm, or only had two, like, there's a lot of self-exploration, because you should be able to give one to yourself as well. That, and, you know, find partners that are good at it. Now, and that means that you'll have sex with people who is like, you realize in order to see if you're sexually compatible with someone, you have to have sex with them, right? So there might be people, you have to go through a few people till you find the right one. And letting go of the idea that sex is dirty, that it's wrong, that it's sinful, okay? If you have been sexually abused, molested, raped, you probably have extra work to do to like get that out of your mind. And if you look at the first video I did on this topic, I talk about the nani egg, yoni egg, okay? Aki. Okay, this helps a lot. If a woman is, it helps a woman's orgasmic potential, period. But definitely if a woman is, it makes a woman a lot more aroused just on her own, which makes you more, it's more grounded in your power to demand what it is you want and need sexually. But women who are dealing with trauma, that can help, you know, dissolve some of that and transform some of that, as with so can dancing. I'm a huge believer in black dance, okay? Black dancing involves the hips, shaking it off and all of that, right? And also cannabis oil, okay? I did a video called Cannabis Orgasms. Cannabis oil is excellent for women. You put it on your clit and your vulva, and it can make a woman super aroused in a very short time period. You might not have even been thinking about sex before, but now all of the fire comes down to your genitals, okay? So cannabis oil is also another good one for women who are having orgasmic issues or want to just increase their orgasmic potential and have more intense orgasms. I believe that using cannabis oil really helps intensify orgasms and feeling. So these are all things. And there are more things that I can say, but sometimes I hold back on certain things because I'm like, you know, a lot of times the public ain't ready for all the things I got to say. There's a lot of things I know in this realm, in this topic, and with me I have levels to stuff of where I want to say and release things. So maybe I'll say the other things I want to say someplace else. And to the men, if you want to help your woman have more intense orgasms and reach their orgasmic potential, then getting them an egg or gently massaging cannabis oil on their clit and vulva can really help. Somebody asked me if I tested the product. I think that you must mean the cannabis oil. Yeah, I've used everything that I talk about. I wouldn't know if I hadn't used it. Okay. Yeah, so I think I could end this here. I just know when I did the last video, there were things that I felt like I didn't say. People are always going to shame the women who stand up for what they want sexually. Look what happens to Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are always going to shame those women. Fuck it, okay? When you're having good sex and super intense orgasms, just be grateful for that. Fuck what people have to think and say. You have to be comfortable with yourself. Okay? So, I'm off to go ice skating and to the gym. So, I'm in this here. If you're on Instagram, make sure you follow me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I don't always post the same thing in both places, so follow me in both places. And I'll see you in my next video, okay? Have a good day, people. Bye. And keep it juicy, ladies.